So, Rolly Ungasha HD asked if I am OCD about anything. About 3 years ago, I tried to quit smoking and I started twirling. My name is Jade, and I am an addict of twirling. It's because I do it constantly. I'll even do it when I'm in the bathroom. Sitting on the toilet, I'll twirl something if it's nearby. I've twirled
on the bed watching a movie.
On the bed watching a movie. But there are certain hazards. I mean, there's things that can happen. Shit. Ow! I'll just be sitting out here having a cigarette. I'll be just, having a conversation and twirling my lighter. Oh, fuck. It's not something that happens often. I mean, I think the most that I've ever had down there was about,
7.
2, 3, 4.
7.
I mean, but it's sad because I do this constantly. And at work, if you sat next to me, you would constantly hear the sound of a Sharpie marker flying out of my hands, because that, my friend, is the consequences of twirling. It's like a mind of their own. You miss and you drop and oops, they fly away. Another question that was asked was by Your Gay News, and yes, you're getting 2 questions answered. I figured it was only fair since you added 6 questions. But you asked me who was my favorite YouTuber. This question is actually a tie between 3 people. Dur Blair, Roster Who, and Rolly Ungasha. Now, Ross and Roland kind of count as one because they've been doing a lot of videos together, but I couldn't really pick a favorite out of the 3 of them. Blair's videos are awesome. He's a fellow horror movie nut and zombie nut, and I love his editing style, and I love what he has to say in his videos. I found him a long time ago, and I've been watching his videos for over a year now. Roland is probably the single person in the world that talks faster than me when I get going, and I thought that was never going to be found. And Ross is just got his own style that is utterly adorable and hilarious, so check their channels out. But yeah, those are my 3 favorite YouTubers because I don't have just one. My next question was one of an extremely personal nature. Mr. Bradley Voorhees on Your Gay News asked, I believe the words were, "How big is your manhood?" So, to answer your question, roll the camera. Raw Dickzilla! Who is my favorite author? Was asked by It's Eleanor Anderson. My favorite author to this day would still have to be Poppy Z. Bright. Poppy Z. Bright unfortunately no longer writes books of this style, but back in the day when she was a diehard goth, she wrote a series of books, a handful of them. One of them was called Drawing Blood. There was also Exquisite Corpse and Lost Souls. Now, mind you, none of these books had anything to do with the other. They were all 3 separate standalone stories. Drawing Blood was my favorite of the 3. Very conflicted, very visceral, very down in the dirt, just crazy. But it was a book that really struck me, and I loved it. Poppy had an amazing writing style when she was writing these books, but unfortunately she moved along to start writing books about cooking. Like fictional books about cooking and 2 gay men running a restaurant, which unfortunately that held about as much interest for me about as a vagina. The next question comes from Hot Missa. You asked, when is Ben gonna make an appearance in a video? Well, it's really funny you should ask that, Missa, because I came home from work today, and Ben had started his own channel and has already filmed 3 videos. So please look up Thousand Souls
679.
679. He's in my friends list. That is my boyfriend. He is now making his own videos, including one that I star in, guest role, mind you. But Angry Epic Sandwich Time, nerd style, complete with swords. Finally, Peacecraft82 asked if you could have any superpower, which one would it be? Control over the weather like Storm. Because I absolutely love wind. I love the idea of causing mass disaster. The other power that I would have is immortality. Some people say that you would get bored after a long time. Me, no, I wouldn't, because there is so many things in this world that I would do. Because if I had the power of the weather, I could fly on the wind, so I wouldn't have to worry about traveling in mundane ways. And there is totally a stink bug above your head right now that is so gross. Anyway, yeah. There is so much that I want to do in this world that I know I'm not going to be able to do all of it in my lifetime, and I'm not going to be able to amass the fortunes to do it all. But if I could, I would take immortality, and I would use it to see every aspect of the world that I wanted to, experience everything that I possibly could, and I would never get bored.